But when it comes to tax, perhaps the bearded billionaire is onto something. Because as we know, tax money has gone to Scott Cam, about $347,000. Now, he turned up today thinking that he was going to get, I presume, some sort of a softball interview where it would only be about his role as a trades ambassador. I think it's a great thing that one of the most famous people in the country is a former chippy, a former builder, who's been able to build himself into the host of one of the most popular television shows in the country, year in, year out. He's won a gold Logie, which means he's up there with Graham Kennedy, Paul Hogan and all of the other greats of Australian television. But no, he didn't give back. He took. And he didn't like being asked about it. Roll the tape.
If you did your homework and knew what you were talking about, my management and the government discussed the fee. That's none of your business. That's a commercial arrangement. How that came about is between my management, myself and the government.
I wouldn't say it's not any of my business, but it certainly is taxpayer business. This is taxpayer money.
Well, the amount is taxpayers' business. How that came about, that's my business, because that's what my business is.
If they couldn't find somebody who was willing to do it for free, then find somebody else, find somebody else, find somebody else. But it got even sillier for Scott Cam today. And I want to keep giving this guy the benefit of the doubt, because I don't want to dissuade famous people from putting their hands up and fronting campaigns to help lift up other Australians. But this was the nonsense when inevitably he was going to be asked about the money that he is getting for this role. This was from the press conference after the interview.
Well, like anybody who is here today that's working, we work for a living. That's the Australian way, and we get paid for what we do. I suppose my brand of 21 years as a national presenter on television is bringing some awareness to it. And I think personally, I need to provide for my family. I get paid for what I do. This national tour is taking away from my day-to-day job. So I think it's only fair that I get paid, like you get paid.
Is he serious? He gets paid by Channel 9. He gets paid by Mitre 10. He gets paid by lots of people. Now, I don't want to pry into anyone's finances, but surely they're not that bad that you need the $300,000 to make ends meet, to provide for the family? It was a bad decision, whoever advised him on this, to take the money. He should have either donated it or should have made the number as low as possible to basically cover the smallest part of his effort. But sadly now, the cost of his ambassadorship is a distraction from what his ambassadorship should be about, which is that we need to change the way that we bring kids up in this country. We need to stop this nonsense that to be a good and successful Australian, you need to go and do arts at uni while you figure out what you want to do. We need to make sure that to pick up the tools of any trade, from hairdressing to architecture to anything in between, to become a welder or a mechanic, that those are the productive Australians who will end up making way more money than any of the wankers who will never pay back their student loans because they're too busy taking their tops off and carrying on about Extinction Rebellion.